Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and guys, I am here to talk about a very intriguing fight at 135 pounds. One of the best fights to make at 135. You got two common names, two well-known names in the sport of boxing in the 135-pound division. You got on one side William El Camarón Zepeda, 31-0, 27 big wins by knockout. Very aggressive, hard punching, volume punching, tough Mexican fighter, Mexican warrior, going for his first world title shot against Shakur Stevenson, 22-0, 10 KOs, one of the best defensive fighters in the sport of boxing today. One of the best pure boxers in the sport today. Sharp, crafty, excellent IQ, 3-division world champion, winning titles at 126, 130, and 135. Shakur Stevenson, man, in his pro career in 22 fights, he's made things look easy. Some performances may be boring. Some performances may be, what do you call it? Entertaining at times. Like when he stopped Jamel Herring. You know, he was not really born in that fight. He walked Herring down, gave the fight to him, took it to him, and was able to stop him. Even in Conceição, the fight with Conceição, he stood right in the pocket with Conceição. Even with Oscar Valdez, he did not run from Valdez. He gave him his angles. He boxed, yes, on his back foot, but he was countering him and circling Valdez, not backing up like he did with Edwin de los Santos. That was his worst performance, even though he won clearly. In this fight, we're going to see the same Shakur. Slick, sharp, defense on point, sharp boxing. His opponent in William Zepeda is going to come forward and he's going to try to close that gap. And once he closes that gap, he's going to try to unload his punches upon punches that he's been doing lately in the past, 4 fights. This guy impressed me from the beginning when I first saw him. I think it was a card in California where he fought Hector Tanahar out of Robert Garcia's boxing gym. And I was impressed. I was like, who's this guy? He's Mexican. Based on what the announcer said, I didn't know who he was. He's Mexican. And all I was seeing is Zepeda walking down Tanahar with volume of punches to the body and to the head with punching power. Not just volume of punching, but with punching power. He was just beating the shit out of Tanahar. And I was impressed. I was like, man, this guy is something else. He's got a gas tank. He doesn't stop throwing punches. And that's that. Then he followed it up with some solid, even more solid wins against Rene Alvarado. He defeated Jojo Diaz. Now, the performances that really stood out to me was those last 3 fights against Maxi Hughes, Marcito Gesta, and Giovanni Cabrera. In those fights, William Zepeda turned it up. William Zepeda 2.0. This man was elbows tucked in, all gas, no brakes, punches upon punches, body to the head, like a body snatcher, like a mean machine, just a man on a mission, smelling blood, and he was just letting go his hands, no gives, walking through whatever, and just working all of his opponents. Maxi Hughes, Gesta, Cabrera. Zepeda beat the hell out of them. I mean, impressive on the Panda Nahar, one of the best trainers in the sport today, one of the best Mexican coaches, boxing trainers in the sport today. So in this fight, William Zepeda is gonna go and try and do the same thing to Shakur. Now, those guys, I don't think are in the level of Shakur. They're good fighters, but there's levels to this sport. Shakur, no matter what Zepeda has done in those fights, I feel that Shakur is going to go in there and make it look easy. Now, I'm going to give Zepeda a chance in this fight by being competitive. He's going to be competitive. What's going to be the interesting part in this fight, right? What makes this fight interesting for me is that when Zepeda closes the gap, he's gonna get inside and he's gonna close that gap. Once he closes that gap and he starts unloading his punches on Shakur, the body, the head, Zepeda, like I said, he's a volume puncher, high work rate with punching power. What Shakur is gonna do when Zepeda is pounding him to the body, to pounding him to the head, and doesn't stop to a punch and he's all over him throwing punches. That's how Zepeda fights. How will Shakur handle that? Because we all know Shakur is a defensive master. Very hard to hit. So Shakur, he cannot fall asleep with Zepeda. Because the minute he falls asleep, Zepeda is going to be rocking and socking robots on him. Unloading punches, won't stop. And that's how Zepeda fights. So this fight is going to be interesting. You got Shakur being the pure slick boxer that he is, defensive master against the very aggressive volume puncher Zepeda, who's very tough, very durable, hits very hard, and is interesting, man. I mean, Shakur never really had never been cracked really good in the chin by a hard puncher. Valdez never really got to touch him pretty good. But that's part of Shakur. He's a very good defensive fighter. Because he's fought some big punchers like Edwin de los Santos, Oscar Valdez. So William Zepeda should bring an interesting challenge. I'm not gonna sit here and say William Zepeda is gonna win the fight. I just feel that Shakur has what it takes to make the fight easy for him. He's a better boxer than Zepeda. He's a better skilled fighter than Zepeda. He doesn't hit as hard as Zepeda, but if Shakur uses his jab, uses his range, do not let Zepeda get inside, he can make this fight easy for him. Very easy. Shakur is half black, half Puerto Rican. He's been in there with the Puerto Rican flag a couple of times in his fights. Against the Valdez fight, he put the patch on. In the Robinson Conceição fight, he put the patch on, and he also had a flag that was bigger than him. And after the fight, he wrapped it around him like a sheet, like a towel. He was very, he represented his Puerto Rican roots. So in this fight, he's gonna do the same. He's gonna be Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Bob Arum is gonna sell it that way. Shakur is gonna go in there with the Puerto Rican flag. He's gonna represent Puerto Rico. He didn't say it, but I bet he's gonna do that. At the end of the day, it's a good fight. It needs to happen. It's two of the very best at 135. Shakur Stevenson, the champion at 135, WBC champ, against William Camarón Zepeda, who's 31-0, 27 knockouts. He's hungry, he's dangerous, and he's gonna come win, lose, or draw. Give it his best shot. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Miracle Boy Boxing, guys. I'm your host, Cruz. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. And who you got winning. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.